Right. And next thing you know, you'll be telling me there's a trilogy of movies going to be based on the game Tetris. Wait, that's a real thing?
Launch me exactly the same way you did for Chuck, is that you? This is the House of Horror!
The Angry Birds movie is here, based on Rovio's series of games where you launch Angry Birds at green pigs. Is there enough substance here to fill a feature-length animated film? Let's find out with 5 things you should know before you see the Angry Birds movie. Let's start here, and it really should be a given at this point, but this movie is really beautiful. I feel like if you're doing CG animated films now, and you're not hitting it out of the park with vivid colors and beautiful shapes and all that kind of stuff, then you're just not doing your job. But this one does, so it's worth putting it in the positive column. Not only that, but the animation is also fun. It has kind of its own style and its own sense. They do a good job bringing these characters to life in a really fun and beautiful way. The other thing the movie does well, and I have to give it credit for, those little clever winks to people who have played the game, I thought those were kind of funny. And if you played the game, and boy, did I ever play Angry Birds for a while back in the day, you'll catch those references to the music or to the gameplay or to the verbiage of certain things, the way the birds are thrown and what they do when you throw them. All that stuff is here. It's not laugh out loud funny, but it is enough for a smile and a chuckle every once in a while, and I think that's good enough. The problem with this movie, however, is it's just way too shallow. There's no depth here, and that kind of shows itself in 2 areas. Let's start with the area of character development. Huge miss here. I wanted to look, if you're going to tell me a story about these characters in this game, I want to know more about who they are, where they come from, what makes them who they are. Not only that, but what is their journey in this story you're telling me? Our main character, Red, this angry bird, why does he become who he is in a deeper way, and how does he change, even more importantly, through the trials of this movie? I know that's asking a lot for a kid's movie like this, but give me something to chew on, something to want to know these characters better, and not just the main character, but the secondary characters as well. It's just not there, and when it is there, it's so shallow, it just doesn't make a difference. The other part where the movie suffers from a lack of depth is just in the story itself. The first question you have when dealing with how you take a casual mobile game app and turn it into a feature-length film is, what story are you going to tell me that's beyond what's on the screen in this game? And they just don't. There's so little thought put into the story they're telling here. There's no twists or turns. There's nothing really interesting that happens beyond Angry Birds have to take down green pigs. Well, I got that in the game. Tell me something new. Tell me something interesting. And because the movie doesn't, it's really boring. The final thing, and I'm not sure whether this is a good thing or a bad thing, so let's just put it in the caution category. I think kids are going to have a good time with this. That's obviously good because they'll enjoy it. The manic energy, the slapstick humor, lots of that stuff is really fun and they'll have a good time. The negative being, it's also kind of distinctly adult in the humor that it tries to portray. There's some really lame, crass jokes here that will go way over kids' heads, but I'm not sure adults will think are all that funny either. And the way it pushes the lines is kind of drastic in some cases, in my opinion. So I found that interesting as well. Overall, the Angry Birds movie is a launch and a miss from Rovio, as far as I'm concerned. They took their property, they tried to make it into a feature-length film, but they didn't do enough to keep it interesting to give it more than a C for me. Thanks for checking out this Your Movie Friend review. You can stay tuned for the Best Ever Challenge here in a bit. First, I want to let you know more about what goes on here at the YouTube channel. You can click the information button up there, see links to other videos, the website, how to support, all that kind of fun stuff. You can also follow me on all the social medias. Just search for my name, Aaron Dicer. I'm the only one. You'll find my Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, all of the above. Periscope, you can follow. Also search for the podcast. It's called SiftPop, SiftPop. We do that every week, and I have a great time talking movies with guests and lots of fun stuff there, so you can check that out too. All right, on to the Best Ever Challenge. This is where you name the best movie ever in a particular category. Also try to identify my choice. What is the best movie ever based on a video game? Yeah, I know this is a tough one. I would say there are no great movies based on video games yet. I really believe that. I'd love to hear if you know one that's great. My favorite that's based on a video game is probably the second one about the grave robbing woman. Yeah. There you go. Take a guess at mine in the comments. First person to get it does get a point. Let me know yours there as well. And as always, here's 5 extra seconds to hit the subscribe logo. Just click it right down in this corner.